Come with us where the corn is popped and the throwback Thursdays never stop. It's a magical land not far away. All you have to do is just press play.
So
hop on the couch and close your eyes. Gonna party like it's 99. Join us, watch the movies of our lives with Blockbuster Wives.
welcome to Blockbuster Wives, where your two favorite 90s babies talk about movies from the era of a certain blue and yellow video rental store. I'm your host with the most late fees, Shea Baby.
And this is Stacy, not always kind, but always rewinds. And you're listening to
Blockbuster Wives. Hello.
Hello.
How you doing?
We hope you're enjoying Robin Williams' madness.
Truly, it's the most wonderful time of the year.
Such a 90s icon. So powerful. We were both obsessed.
And all of these movies, there is like a thread. And I know that thread is Robin Williams, but there's like something whimsical about each of these movies that like really hits something deep in my heart. And I hope you guys feel it too.
That's what it's all about.
You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Oh, really quick, I want to mention that I met with my producers today, and one of my producers was like we've talked about, okay? He was like, so, I didn't know you had a podcast. And I was like, dude.
I'm forever amazed. Like, I post about this shit every week.
Yeah.
I'll say my podcast, our podcast, I have a podcast.
For nearly 2 years.
2 years?
Weekly, at least weekly.
And I know these people watch my stories and they're like, you have a podcast? I'm like, what the fuck do you think I'm talking about?
I'm convinced that most people, number one, just like aren't like aware. No offense. And number two, when they scroll, I feel like a lot of people do the da-da-da-da-da-da-da, and they're not actually, I don't do that.
I don't do that either. I just won't watch it.
Yeah.
It'll
I'm
expire.
like, no thanks.
Right.
Swipe out. Like, if you accidentally get locked in there, just swipe out. Like, I don't get
But
it.
then again, to their point, that's why I also don't get mad if I'm like, I posted this and no one said anything. Because I do know there's a lot of people out there who aren't actually reading it.
True.
And I do think sometimes when people are like, no one responded to it, it's like, well, they might not have even really read it.
And that's their first problem. They're not reading our content. No, but he even said, he was just like, you know, sometimes you go through and like, he's like, I know you've posted about it, but like, I just never really like knew what it meant. And I'm just like,
It means I have a podcast.
but you know what? I can kind of get it because at first glance, it just looks like a photo I shittily photoshopped. And that's like my whole asshole anyways.
But it always says episode. What do they think it's an episode of?
They're like, oh, here's Shea
Episode
again.
49 of my face?
In Delusionalville, just thinking she has a new episode of a show that doesn't exist. It's like, it
Like
does
funny
exist.
bit. And it's
We're
like,
doing
no,
it.
we spend a lot of time doing this.
Almost 2 years. May I remind you, in 3 months, in less than 3 months, in like 2.5 months, it will be 2 years that we have been consistently up in this bitch.
2 years of flying around the sun, and we've been bringing you this weekly.
Truly, and flying around the country. We went
literally.
to Milwaukee twice.
Hello.
Okay.
Number one Shrekfest correspondence.
Exactly. Also, Bend, Oregon next, baby. Gotta
Yeah,
make
we
it happen.
gotta go to the last
We gotta
Blockbuster.
make it happen,
People
you guys.
do bring that up when they realize we have a Blockbuster-esque podcast, and we definitely want to go.
We'll figure that out at some point. But regardless, I know my wife had some things that she wanted to talk about today.
I had the pleasure of accompanying Shea to her first viewing of Screamed, an unauthorized musical parody.
Oh, my Lord.
If you don't know, the Majestic Repertory Theater in downtown Las Vegas has run an extremely unique production. It's the only one in the country. And it is exactly what it sounds like, an unauthorized musical parody of the movie Scream.
It is so fucking rad.
So not only do they follow the plot of Scream pretty faithfully, but interspersed, they have 90s cover songs to add a musical element to it. And the way they weave it in is so genius. They have choreo, they're belting it out, they have set pieces, like, it's fucking great.
How meta it is, because Scream is already meta enough. Then you make it an unauthorized musical parody version of it, and it's even more meta, you know? It's just like...
And you know Randy is guiding you through it,
Oh my
which is
God.
like, you can just tell that whoever wrote it, developed it, like, loves Scream,
Yes.
gets it,
Yes.
like, just nailed it.
It was so much fun. Shouts out to our crew
Yeah.
that joined us. We had so much fun with y'all. Brandon, you know Brandon, he's a favorite friend of the podcast, okay?
He's a favored friend, and you'll be hearing more of him next month. Hint, hint, hint.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, nudge.
And then our other great fan, Troy. Hella cool.
Dude, what up, Troy?
Love you. Thank you for coming with us.
And Nate, of course, who we
Nate
adore.
the Great.
Nate the Great, baby.
I don't know if he listens, but we love him anyway.
I don't know if he does either. But you know what? Gotta love him either way.
If you're listening to this, I'm sorry
I know.
for doubting you.
He has like a t-shirt of us.
He's like, wow.
Which, by the way, we do also need to get merch going, like this year, ASAP Rocky.
Mm-hmm. So that we can wear it, and then hopefully some of you want to wear it too.
Totally. Oh, also the story of our friend Brian clocking our producer at work wearing the BBW sweater.
Yes, Las Vegas is a tiny, 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 tiny little world, and everybody knows each other.
Small.
So our great producer Anthony, shout out DJ Munchausen,
Shouts out DJ Munchausen, bam, bam, bam.
showed up to his place of business, and our friend was like, nice Blockbuster Wives hoodie. I love that he wore it to work.
I know! I'm like, dude, you're so cool. Love that guy. But like, also just someone clocking it is also cool. You know? Just saying we're famous.
So if you wear it, maybe one of your coworkers will randomly know who we are and actually read our Instagram stories and put together that we have a podcast.
And that's how you create friendships. That's how you network. That's how you get more people interested in us, which should be your part-time job, okay?
The merch should be one of the pictures we took back to back.
Oh my God,
And
yes.
it should just say, we have a podcast.
God
And then the back will be Blockbuster West.
And it is called... Oh my God, that... Dude... I've been thinking a lot about our merch, but that we can have that conversation later. Mm-hmm. Anyways.
Yeah, Scream Musical, fucking fantastic. I hope they run it every year. It like blew up on TikTok, right? Because everyone's like, this is incredible.
It did. And honestly, I think that like they could take it on tour.
Oh, I think they can make buku bucks shopping this around for sure. But as of now, it's only here in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Get your little butts down there.
At some point, it could become an authorized musical.
Wow.
Hopefully.
I bet a lot of the cast of Scream has heard about it.
Yeah, I'm sure they've been tagged, especially the dude that played fucking, what's his name?
Stu?
Dude.
Yeah.
Incredible. Like, actually unreal. If you guys live in Vegas, it's still going on right now, right?
I think there's like a month left. I think there will still be show times by the time this comes out, but they will be limited.
Yeah, y'all need to go. Literally run. Do not walk.
It is worth every penny.
It truly was
$60.
Such a good experience. And then they have merch there. They have drinks. They have little snackies. Like, it is so great. Please go support local artists. Buy tickets to shows. Period.
And as Brandon pointed out, we could easily make a BBW podcast bingo card for this play because it references so many other movies we've covered and like jokes we've made.
Oh my God. It's so true.
It's tailor-made for the fans of this podcast.
Truly. So if you're a true fan, if you live here or have accessibility to get here, highly recommend. We could not recommend it enough. That's all I'm saying.
That's all we're saying. That's that on that.
Oh, and Stacy also got her second eye surgery. Yay!
Yes, I'm fully eyeballed up. Neither have fallen out. Feeling pretty good.
She's double eyeballed up on a Tuesday,
That's
baby.
That's fucking right.
Hell yeah.
So, glad to have that behind me.
It's been a long journey, my
queen.
It's been
a long journey and so expensive. Once again, I've said it a lot and like $9,000.
You should see my face right now. I am quite literally horrified.
Because our medical scene is a fucking mess.
It's atrocious.
They make up the prices as they go along.
It's atrocious.
Well,
anyway.
Speaking of that.
Yes.
Mrs. Doubtfire.
Holy smokes, you guys. Euphigenia Doubtfire, dear.
What a fucking fire name.
Dude, Euphigenia?
Yeah, if I ever have to give a fake name, I might start giving my name, Euphigenia.
You should.
Starbucks?
That's a 5.
Oh my God, can you imagine?
Dude.
Oh God, I'm doing that. I would
time.
love to see how they spell it.
You must. They just do like a cartoon of her face. Hello.
Right. I'll try to remember how many times I have to say Euphigenia.
Like,
and then I'll wait to see how they spell it.
They're like, Gina?
Yeah, Euphigenia?
A latte vagina? No, but
vagina.
5 fucking syllable name.
Yeah.
That's hardcore and dope.
It's an incredible name.
And especially her husband being named Winston.
Winston, dear.
Winston, I'm like,
Euphigenia.
Every time I call my little brother Hazen, shouts I'm always like, What's up, dear? Like, we always just talk to each other in this Doubtfire
Well,
accent.
she is like kind of low-key Scottish. You're
Yeah.
from
Oh my
Nova
God.
Scotia, you know?
I never thought about it like that, but that's true, actually.
Everything's connected, man.
Wow. You make all the connections, girl.
We're all in this together, man.
You're right. Man, I need to smoke, like, immediately. All right, anyway. Let's get into some corporate bullshit, huh?
I can't wait because okay, I should say I watched this movie constantly as a kid, but I never. It was like pre-internet, so I never really looked up facts about it or knew anything about it, like what you're about to go over. So I'm very excited.
Well, here we go. Let's fucking do this, baby.
Corporate bullshit.
Some bullshit.
Mrs. Doubtfire is a 1993 American comedy drama film. Comedy drama.
It is. There were some parts where I was like, eek!
I know. Directed by Chris Columbus, of all people, which I did not know until this viewing.
I didn't realize that either, and I was like, oh, okay, Home Alone looking ass.
Home Alone,
Harry
the first
Potter
Harry.
looking ass.
Yeah, the first two Harry Potters, I think?
Yeah.
Yeah. Big name. And written by Randy Mayhem Singer and Leslie Dixon, it was based on the 1987 novel Madame Doubtfire
What?
by Anne Fine.
I didn't. I'm literally writing this down because
Yep.
I want to read this book. Madame Doubtfire?
Yep.
Okay, writing it down.
And Robin Williams, who was the producer as well, bam, 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 stars with Sally Field, who was incredible.
Yes,
in this
such
movie.
an amazing actor.
Also known as Forrest Gump's mommy.
Yes.
Pierce Brosnan, hottie,
Oh, wow.
who's married to a
Deliciously
plus-size
tan.
baddie, might I add.
Oh, is he? Who?
I don't know. But
Oh,
she was
but
a model, and now she's a plus-size
Nice.
model lady, and she's hot. Harvey Fierstein, iconic. And Robert Prosky. And it follows a recently divorced actor who disguises himself as an elderly female housekeeper to be able to interact with his children.
And going back to the kids, so the little girl is the chick from Matilda.
Oh, right. Yes.
And
I didn't have
then-
any of their... Wait, do I have their names written down? No, I don't. Shit. Okay. But yeah, it's the little girl that plays Matilda.
Before Matilda. She's a little
Yeah.
younger.
Yeah. She's like maybe a year...
Yeah, but pretty close in time.
Yeah. But, oh, God, she's so cute. What's her
She
name again?
is
Hold on,
the
I'm going to look up
cutest
their
thing you've
names.
ever seen in this movie. And then the oldest daughter I knew had been in other movies, but I couldn't quite place her.
Lisa Jacob.
Is the other daughter?
Is who, yeah. And she's Canadian. Ooh.
Oh.
Mara Wilson. That's who
Mara
Matilda
Wilson.
was. And then also Matthew Lawrence of the iconic Lawrence Brothers, who
Yes.
also was in Boy Meets World. Okay. And what's that one movie with not White Chicks? What's the other movie with Rachel McAdams turns into
Notebook?
Rob Schneider?
Oh. The hot chick.
The hot chick. He's in that movie too.
Okay, she's in Independence Day, which was a huge drama that came out around the same time.
Okay, I didn't see that.
And I think that came out in 1996. I think she also played someone's daughter.
Got it. Okay.
And that's where I think I saw her from. But she was a pretty good career as a child actress.
And she was really, really talented. Like, very believable. Yeah, they all did a fucking incredible job.
Yeah,
Honestly, they
amazing
were so
cast.
good.
Everybody shines.
Yeah. It
Even
was
the
really
social worker.
I know.
So great.
So good. Wait, hold on. I need to look up her name too. It was just up here, and
Well, and you may, I remember from Liar Liar. She plays his secretary. She like
Yes.
quits on him because he starts telling her the truth.
Yes.
Which
Okay.
we have got to do a lawyer month where we do Liar Liar.
Dude, we have to. There's so many good lawyer movies. Legally Blonde. Hello. Yeah, her name is Anne Haney.
Anne Haney. Seriously, everyone sparkled, shined.
Oh yeah, everyone was so goddamn good. And let me see here. Okay, so release date November 24th, 1993. So it was like a holiday movie. Makes sense. But also like sad.
Yeah, very intense.
Very intense, very sad to be a holiday like family movie.
And I did look it up, like, ooh, I watched it as a kid, and I always thought it was a kid's movie, but watching it now, I was like, was this for kids, or was this for adults? It was rated PG-13.
Yeah, I
So
can
I
see
guess
that.
it wasn't intended for small children.
That makes sense because he makes a lot of sexual innuendos and jokes.
Yes,
And
which went over my head as a kid.
me too, completely.
But I thought it was a kids movie, and then I was like, wait a second, I don't know about this.
Yeah, I know what you mean. We thought it was a kids movie because it was so fun, and again, Robin Williams is so energetic, and it's starring also 3 kids, but...
Coming off the heels of Aladdin.
Yeah, totally. Like, literally, the next year?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it makes sense that it's PG-13, because it's a little...
Scary.
Just a wee much.
Yeah.
It's 120 minutes, so yikes.
That was surprising to me.
I know. There were some parts that I was like, this could have been cut.
Right,
for sure.
Moving along.
Yep.
Because it does take a while for the transformation to come into place.
Hell yeah. Like, at least 40 minutes or something like that.
Like, okay, now we got Mrs. Doubtfire. And you're like, I thought she came on the scene a little earlier, but they really laid a lot of groundwork about the marriage.
So much, which makes sense, I suppose, but still, it's a very long movie. It grossed $441.3 million,
buku.
And the budget was $25 million.
Holy, that's really, really low.
I know.
For all those actors.
For all the actors, for the makeup, for the costumes, for being in San Francisco. Like, it's very clearly in San Francisco.
Wow.
I know. And it was the second highest grossing film of 1993.
You know what I just thought of, too? Sorry, not to go back to the
No, it's
costume.
okay.
But even the guy that Robin Williams is having dinner with is great, and he was in our Rudy episode, and we were like, who is this guy?
Oh my
and then
God.
we remembered that it was Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yes.
It's a little Rudy connection. He plays the priest in that movie.
Yeah, I think he also did, like, I don't know if he did Broadway, but he's definitely, like, a stage actor.
Yeah, like everyone.
It's like so many. Giant star. Sally Field is a giant, massive fucking star. Robin Williams, massive star.
That's why I'm shocked. $25 million.
I know.
That's low.
It's so low. And then to make, like,
buku.
$500 million, that's crazy.
And I bet the VHS sales were nutso,
I'm sure. They also won the Academy Award for Best Makeup.
Really?
The Golden Globe Award for Best Motion Picture, Musical or Comedy.
Wow.
And the Golden Globe Award for Best Actor in a Motion Picture for Robin Williams for that movie. Roger Ebert rated it 2.5 stars. He did not like it. He was literally
low.
It's low. It's low for that type of movie.
What the hell?
He literally was like, he was comparing it to another movie where a man is in drag, essentially, right? Is it called Tootsie? Yeah, Tootsie.
Yeah.
Which was released just like a handful of years before that movie.
Oh, I guess it was kind of close to... I always think of Tootsie as being like such an old movie, but it really wasn't that
it's like an 80s movie, right?
Yeah, exactly. Not more than a decade, I don't think.
Yeah, so he like kept comparing it to Tootsie, and he's just like, Hoffman as an actor was able to successfully play a woman. Williams, who is also a good actor, seems more to be playing himself than playing a woman. And I'm like, he did a great job at playing a woman, in my personal opinion.
I love Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yeah, she's a bad bitch.
Yes.
She's like a strong woman.
Yes, I love when the son goes, you're awfully big for a lady.
And she's like, I was a linebacker, dear.
So good. I disagree heartily.
Me too, as usual.
I've never seen Tootsie. But it's also like, he wasn't like trying to be like a woman. It's like he was trying to embody a very specific character.
Exactly.
Like an older, no-nonsense Scottish bitch.
And what I think he was mad because... whatever. Roger Ebert, whatever the fuck. I don't know anything about you except for that you're fucking annoying to me. But, like, I just think it's because she's not, like, the most feminine, like, ooh, dainty, so like, so he's like, I hate her.
I think he's like, I wouldn't want to fuck her, so therefore,
exactly,
he sucks at this.
I'm like, well, good thing you're not up for post, buddy, because no one would want to fuck you, Ebert. Sorry.
Rest in peace.
Except don't.
Oh, no. I cannot co-sign.
Listen, I'm sorry, but he's so annoying to me, you guys. You already know. I have, like, dude, one of my t-shirts are just gonna be, fuck you, Ebert. Like, me just, like, actually, I'm not gonna say what I was just gonna say.
Statue with, like, a fucking no sign over it.
I was just gonna say something so bad.
Oh, no. I'm glad you restrained yourself, because you can't take it back.
I was gonna say shitting on his grave. Like, just a cartoon of me shitting on his grave.
No. I will prevent that from happening.
She can't stop me.
No one
can tame the beast. No, I'm just kidding. I wouldn't actually.
You like sneaking onto our website in the dead of night to like add it, cackling to yourself. And And then I'm like, no.
In slow motion, I'm like about to press enter. You come in and you tackle me. And then I find out that she's like Ebert's great granddaughter.
That was my father.
That's my grandfather. Okay, sorry. Anyways.
Sometimes I do agree with the guy. Not here.
I don't have harsh feelings about it, but
I don't have strong feelings either way.
However,
oh man.
Okay, cool.
So that was mainly why he doesn't like it. Is Robin Williams wasn't lady enough for him.
I really
Whatever
think it's
that means.
Yeah, she's not like a dainty, overly feminized or sexualized woman, and I think he was just like, I don't like her. Fuck off, Ebert.
Right.
Okay. Anyway, so he gave it 2.5 stars, and then on Rotten Tomatoes, the critic score was 70%.
Okay.
And the audience score was 77%. So
All
pretty
right.
average.
Not even.
Yep.
Bechdel test.
I just started thinking about it. No. Because I think, well, actually, yes, because they're talking about the dress. All the girls are talking about the dress.
True, but it is the dress for the dinner that the guy is doing.
True, but it's like, that's the only time.
Yeah, that's about it. Because all the other conversations between Mrs. Doubtfire and Miranda, which is Sally Fields, are about Robin Williams.
And even then, it wouldn't be between two women.
That's true.
Right? So just with the girls.
Yeah, like lady characters. Yeah. You're right.
I guess that's the only time, really.
Wowza. Yeah, I'm trying to think of the social worker talks to anyone. No.
Which is nuts. Again,
Yeah.
What? But again, it was 92, so. Or 93, so whatever. And that's corporate bullshit. Yay!
Whee!
I wrote my notes down.
Oh, wow. I love
Today.
it. Before we get into our notes, though, I was wondering, like, how has the queer community viewed this movie since it came out? Like, favorable, not favorable? Like, I thought it aged well, but I was interested to see, because I don't identify as queer. Like, what are people saying? And obviously, no community is a monolith, so you can't find, like, the answer.
Totally.
But after reading many Reddit and Quora pages, it seems like the consensus is most people, like it and are totally fine with it. Acknowledge that there are some parts, which we will talk about, that are very transphobic,
Totally.
dragphobic, gay, you know, homophobic. But overall, I was pleasantly surprised.
Me too.
To see that I think it aged quite well and wasn't like punching down or trying to like malign somebody who would dress opposite of their gender sign of birth. Like, they're fucking weirdo freaks.
Yeah.
Like, there's moments of that, but it's certainly not the point of the movie. And even not where a lot of the humor even is.
No, I think it's actually kind of like for most of the picture. Why did I just say picture? Yikes.
It's a motion picture.
Yeah, for most of the movie, the fuck?
No,
Who
stop
am I?
calling them pictures. It's
I'm like,
sexy.
who am I?
It's old school.
Like,
It's
yikes!
old school Hollywood. Like,
That just seems so like film bro of me. I do not know why I just said picture. That is so weird. I've never said that in my whole life. But anyway, like I just got possessed for a mere moment.
Through you.
Ew. Why? Anyways, in the movie that I recently viewed, I don't know. I feel like it was almost like a non-issue completely. Like, even when he went to his brother and his brother's like, I'm so happy. Like, just being like, yeah, let's fucking do this. Yeah, I don't mind wearing makeup. Yeah, I don't give a fuck. Like, truly. And honestly, I think in some ways it was more progressive because, like, at the end of the movie, spoiler alert, he has a whole show in drag on, like, public TV. And no one gives a fuck.
Right.
And that could never happen now for children.
Oh, yeah. People would lose their goddamn minds. And that is sad to watch some of these movies where it does feel like we've gone backwards in many ways. And it's like, what?
And people have no idea.
Why?
Like, some people really don't realize. They're like, no, but, like, we're moving forward. I'm like, in a lot of ways, we're not, though.
Right.
In a lot of ways, we're not.
We don't always trend towards progress, people. It
Yeah.
doesn't just happen organically.
No.
You have to fight tooth and nail all the time.
And clearly you have to fight. Like, with everything that's happening right now in drag communities and the trans community and the queer community in general, it's like, bro, we are absolutely fighting constantly to make sure that we're just like, dude, this is normal. Like, you guys are fucking weird.
Yeah, you are obsessed and weird about it.
Yeah, you guys are hyper-focused and obsessed with me? Why? I don't know. Maybe because we express ourselves and we have some sort of freedom in our internal lives that you guys will never have. And maybe it's jealousy. Maybe it's like fear of the unknown. I don't fucking know, but it's really sad. And we need to change, like, actively. So.
Amen.
Thank you.
And I did also like how when people are asking, like, once the jig is up with his kids and they realize what's going on, they ask him, like, so, like, what's it like? And he's like, it's hard. These shoes suck. I'm hot all the time. Like, this is not easy.
Yeah, he's like, I don't like it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, dressing up in these clothing is not easy, all right?
I'm glad that, there were multiple times in the movie where he's just like, I'm going to kill the misogynistic bastard who created high heels.
Yeah,
because
like, why do people do this?
every day he's in pain, like, walking back to the bus stop, and it's like, yeah, your pantyhose dragged down, you are in pain all the time, your back fucking hurts, and you're cleaning?
And a big part of the transformation, to your point, is, like, he learns, like, how hard domestic labor is.
Oh my God,
did
yes.
not appreciate before, which is part of the reason they got a divorce.
Yes.
So take notes, people.
Yeah, dude. We talk about this all the time, and especially at the beginning, I think, of, like, the movies that we started talking about at the beginning of the podcast, where we were referring to, what is it? I always forget the term. Weaponized incompetence. Look it up, y'all, because I've been hit with that so much in my fucking life. I'm sure a lot of women or femmes have, dealing with men, cis men specifically, and it's crazy.
Yeah, like, a lot of dudes just, like, expect things to happen and things to be nice and things to be clean and organized and taken care of, and for there to be food in the fridge, and they get fed, and they don't really have to question it. But as soon as he has to start doing that, he's like, oh, fuck. Like, and he realizes he has to learn it. It is a skill.
It's a giant skill. All of these things are giant fucking skills that women don't just, like, wake up knowing how to do this shit.
Exactly. And I think a lot of dudes think that that is the case, or that, like, it's so easy and comes naturally but they just can't be bothered to do it because it's, like, beneath them.
Yeah, and it's like, you can't do it because it's hard.
Because you don't know what you're fucking doing.
You don't know what the fuck you're doing. You haven't learned these skills that took years to figure out.
And it's manually taxing. It's not just, like, light work.
Dude, yeah. Have you ever done, like, loads of laundry, cleaned the fucking house, and made a meal in the same day? It wrecks you for, like, 2 days.
It's a lot.
It is so much fucking work. And then you're expected to do it days later.
Yeah, and Sally Field's character is, like, the breadwinner, too. So she's, like, working all day, and then she's coming home and cleaning up after everybody and cooking. It's like, it's too much.
And I don't blame her for being like, you're always making me out to be the bad guy. It's like, I can only imagine what that's like. It's fucked up. But, yeah, let's dive into it, shall we?
All right, let's do it.
All right. I thought it was really cool that, like, the last movie that he did was Aladdin, and he was voice acting as Genie, and then in this movie, that's his career.
I had the same thought. I was like, I wonder if that was already part of it, or if his voice acting experience, like, since you mentioned he's a producer, I wonder if he's like, we should put that in there. Yeah. Like, he's not just an actor, he's a voice actor.
Yeah. That is cool. And it's like the opening scene, and it's like a fucking famous Italian, like, Figaro, Figaro, Figaro. Like, it's so ingrained in my heart and soul to sing that whole entire fucking scene, because I've watched this movie so many times. I'm sure you have too. It's so good.
And I thought it was such a smart way from a storytelling perspective to, like, very quickly show you who his character is.
Exactly who he is.
Like, he's super fun, he's super quirky, but he loves children and he will not suffer the poisoning of the young mind. And he quits his job because they want him to voice this bird smoking, and he's like, we might as well be sending him a pack of Marlboros.
Saying, light up.
Yes.
And they're like, we don't give a fuck, Pally.
And he's all like, smoking, and he's like, they're biased.
Yeah, he's like, this is like a rigged trial. Yeah, and they're just like,
mistrial. Yeah.
And then he just bounces because he's like, fuck y'all. Like, I stand on business, okay? Fuck this. I actually give a fuck about children. Fun fact.
Which I guess, to play devil's advocate, it's like he can't do that because Miranda, his wife, is the breadwinner. So, like, he can be like, principal, and know that, like, the mortgage is still going to get paid.
True.
So, maybe not everyone has that option, but he does, and he's like, bye-bye.
Yeah, which, honestly, I do believe that if he was living in his apartment and was doing that, he'd quit, too.
Yeah, true.
I think he just has, like, his character is so strong, and he cares so much about children and, like, their experience and what they're learning, like, what they consume media-wise, which I think is so sweet. It's very Mr. Rogers energy. That, like, he stands on business. He's like, fuck y'all, I'm not doing this shit. I'm not backing this shit. Like, no. So So I thought that was really cool.
I was also shocked and pleased to see that Howard Shore did the soundtrack for this movie.
Oh.
Who did the Lord of the Rings soundtrack, which I listened to all the time.
He killed it.
Yeah, it's all these like uplifting, fun. Yes, like beautiful.
He killed that, and also whoever, I don't know if he like chose the songs in the movie, killer soundtrack. Murderous.
Yes.
Like so fucking good. Love it. I love that hate to say it, bitch neighbor counts a couple of goats in front of the house a fucking emergency.
Yeah, that was really funny. She says it's an emergency. It's like, it's not an emergency.
She's like, Gloria? Fucking piece of work, let me tell you what.
I would be pissed too. And I'm also like, are we to believe he planned this party on the fly? Because he wasn't actually supposed to be home at that time. He quits his job unexpectedly and then
I guess immediately called
party together in like the course of 20 minutes.
I mean, maybe that was like, I mean, we don't see the timeline. Maybe that was like in the morning he quit and then he had like 6 hours.
That's true, maybe.
But still, yeah, like we're just supposed to sit here and believe that he like planned a zoo showing up at his house.
Right. But I could see that being anger, like an extra layer of anger. Like, okay, let me get this straight. You quit your job. Mm-hmm. And you planned this wild, expensive party. Cool. And I got a cake.
Yeah, I got a cake and balloons, so fuck off.
Right. I spent a cool $40. Pretty sure the zoo is not cheap, and you are now unemployed.
And you're not paying for it, bitch.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
And also, she did like put her foot down and was like, you can't have a party. Mm-hmm. You didn't get good grades.
That too. He was supposed to be being punished.
Yeah.
And just undermine Central.
Yeah.
Disrespect Central.
Very disrespectful.
And then he tells her, like, I think in an attempt to make her feel better, but probably just made her feel worse, I was going to clean it up before you came home. So it's like, oh, and so you were going to lie to me and
deceitful.
cover this up.
Like, yeah, you're going to have you and the kids keep up the charade while I came home looking like a fucking dumbass.
Yeah. Oof.
Bro,
I'd be so mad.
Please. Yeah, it's a really hard scene to watch because you want to be mad at her, but you can't. Because, especially as like, when you're a kid, you're annoyed with her, but when you become an adult, especially an adult woman, you're like, oh, I would murder.
Right, like, I get it, girl. Yeah, I think when watching as a young, I was probably like, Robin Williams is just being a great dad, and she's being a bitch. And it's like, now it's like, oh, no. He was out of control.
Like, he's being a fun dad, for sure.
Yeah, very fun.
And he picked them up from school. Like, he's present, he's fun, he's cute, thoughtful to them, but not thoughtful to his partner at all.
Not even a little bit.
And not even not a thought. It was like he had a thought, but his first thought was to deceive her.
Deception and lies.
Totally. Which is like, oh, it's so hard because you just
disrespect of what she's trying to do.
Totally. And you want to be on his side, but it's like, you can't be on his side when you see the story for what it really is. You're like, damn, that fucking sucks. Also, House of Pain's Jump.
Oh, yeah.
Best song usage ever.
Mm-hmm. And the kids partying are so funny. Like, there's literally a kid swinging from a chandelier. Like, it's so
there's always a kid swinging from a
Yeah.
chandelier. And all of these fucking, oh my god, so fun.
But in regards to all this, I did write, the bad dad 90s obsession continues.
Oh my god.
Every fucking screenwriter at this time was obsessed with bad dads.
So true. And in a different way, because this guy, he's the opposite. He's not the guy that is like a lawyer or a doctor who's never home and doesn't make. He's the absolute opposite of that.
Yeah, he's like the kid dad who isn't being like a parent and isn't like taking care of the kids. He just wants to have fun.
Exactly.
It's another form of the bad dad.
Peter Pan syndrome.
Yeah. And this is coming after Hook.
Exactly.
So you could probably draw on both.
There you go. And the whole comparison that Ebert made to Dustin Hoffman and Tootsie. Dustin Hoffman played Hook.
Oh,
bro.
Oh my god.
Hello. Just saying.
Wow.
Also, so then like Sally Fields, Robin Williams, they're arguing loudly in the kitchen. They think the kids are all the way upstairs. They're on the stairs.
Yeah, listening to every word.
And when you're a kid and your parents are fighting like that, it is brutal. But beyond that, to hear them literally say like, no, we're divorcing. Yeah. Holy shit. Being 5 years old.
Yeah, and they're like yelling.
Yeah.
They're yelling.
Yeah. She's like, I'm always the bad guy. And he's like, you're such an uptight bitch.
Yeah, it's really bad. I was like, whoa, this is a lot.
Yeah, it's really bad. It's really sad.
I do think modern parents have the distinct advantage that they can now text each other.
Yes.
Which I think probably avoids a lot of...
Oh, yeah.
I mean, your kids are going to be able to tell if you hate each other.
Totally.
But I hope the shouting and, like, arguments have simmered down.
Yeah, because that's just like... When you're a kid, you're so sensitive and you feel the energy of every room you walk into. I still remember how it felt to like know that your mom is mad and you like walk in the room when you're a kid and you don't have like the wherewithal, or you shouldn't have the responsibility to like have that conversation with her. So you're just like, this is the woman in charge of me, and you're like sliding into the room and you don't know
right, like
what.
I'm under their complete control and they're pissed.
Yeah, and you're like, yeah, you're just, oh, and like, my God. That must be so hard. I will say, then the kids, you know, they end up getting a divorce. The dad only gets like Saturdays with them, whatever.
And I will say the court proceeding actually pretty accurate.
Okay, cool. I was wondering about that.
No, that would be like an arrangement. It would be like, you know what, right now, because you don't have a job and you don't have a place to live, like I have to give the kids to mom. However, you have 3 months to like turn it around. That is like a standard plan that a lot of courts do.
That's cool.
That's accurate.
And I think that's really like helpful. Like it must be hurtful, but also it's like you have time to like figure this shit out.
Right. And what's interesting is that nowadays, honestly, this wouldn't have happened in the 90s. But nowadays, the courts have gotten less sexist. I think he would have a shot at getting alimony because it doesn't seem like he has that many skills. So nowadays, a court might order her like, listen, you have to give him like $1,000 a month or something until he finds gainful employment or can like get a training or like whatever.
So like for those 3 months, she would pay him alimony?
It could be a long time. It could be like a year. But the idea of, and this was the idea back in the day, but modern times, the idea of alimony is to like support your partner while they carve out an independent life that they didn't need to have before.
For so many years.
Right. And it started off as a way to like help housewives who like, what are they supposed to do? They haven't had a resume for 30 years. Like who's going to hire them? So you'd give them alimony maybe for the rest of their lives. But nowadays in the modern era, it's like if you were a partner who stayed home a lot or you never made any money, like your partner's not supposed to just like hang you out to dry immediately.
Right.
Like, they're kind of supposed to like help you ease into this new life.
Got it. Well, at least that's cool, because I always wonder with all of these court scenes, I'm always like, Stacy, how accurate is it? Most of the time, it's not.
Yeah, well, and the courtroom was like far nicer than any family law courtroom, probably. Yeah. But that kind of arrangement, I was like, that is accurate.
Cool. I'm glad that it was, because it's very rare when it's actually even relatively accurate. So
yeah, and he is. He's like, I'm going to try it. I'm going to make it work.
Yeah. And I love that they gave him that opportunity, but also, so when he like moves into an apartment, which also looks actually pretty fucking nice.
Yeah, in San Francisco, I'm like, that's pretty spacious.
Yeah. For I think it's one of the most expensive cities, if not the most expensive in the U.S.
Yeah, like a full kitchen?
Yeah. Full kitchen, full like dining room with like window, like bay windows, basically. The kids are shitting on him so hard, which is so sad. They're like, you're not trying hard enough.
Like,
and I'm like,
this is a dump. It's like, you're a dump.
I'm like, hey, babes, not everyone can live in a manch, like in San Francisco like proper, bro.
Walk-up brownstone looking ass. Like, sorry,
I've been to that house. It's fucking massive.
Oh, really?
I've sat on those steps. It's crazy huge.
Oh, it's massive. It's like on the corner too, right? So it's like this huge.
Yeah, it's a giant corner house manch. Like truly, it's so big.
I did read something online that the owner of that house was like a pioneer for some sort of transgender care. So that's kind of a fun little
hell yeah. Oh, I love that. That makes me so happy. That's so cool. What an interesting connection. Oh my God. And then Robin Williams, I put Robin Williams crying in the courtroom when he's just like, you can't see my kids. Oh my God, it killed me.
It's really sad. And then meanwhile, I wrote, Miranda's so painfully thirsty for Stu.
Dude.
My God. She's like, Stu, he's here.
She's like, he called
like,
me.
Heart eyes the whole fucking time. Like, girl.
I'm like, just let him finger you in your fucking office.
Like, get it together.
No, actually, you're a thirsty bitch. Okay?
I was like, dang, you really showing it.
Yeah, you really
and
want
I gotta kind of agree with Robin Williams on this one. She's moving very fast.
Way too fucking fast.
For being freshly divorced. Like, meet my kids. Come hang out with me.
Yeah, like weeks later, maybe a couple months later. That's a lot.
Yeah. I was like, wow.
I don't care how hot he is, dude. I don't care how hot of an accent he has. Well, in that case, second thought, I would probably do the same fucking thing. No, I'm just kidding. I wouldn't. I wouldn't. That's rough.
Like, I feel like she has to meet the kids before they even really go on a date. And I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Like, I know that they knew each other growing, like
years ago.
But still, fucking super weird. I also wrote during that dinner that he's having with his kids, he's like, I hope she doesn't have amoebic dysentery or piles, expecting his kids to know what that means. And then she's like, what's amoebic dysentery?
She's so cute.
And then fucking the Lawrence bro is like, it's a thing in your tummy where you get diarrhea forever. And then you dry up and you die. She's like, you die? He's like, why do you have to be so graphic with her? I read about it in a science book. Why would you want mommy to die? Oh, honey, I don't want mommy to die. Then why would you say that? And I'm like,
so cute. She really is so adorable.
And I can only name that scene because I rewound it a bajillion fucking times when I was a kid. That shit was so, when she's like,
that's
diarrhea
so
forever.
That was the scene that you were like, play it again.
For some reason, it was the diarrhea forever. It just made me fucking lose my
forever
mind.
When you're a kid is pretty funny. For me, it's the hello, which I'm sure we'll get to.
In creds. Oh my god, that's so good. Also, the fact that the mom, like Sally Fields, forces herself into his apartment. What the fuck is wrong with you?
She's being very rude.
She is so mean in that scene. She's like, wow, lovely. I'm like, fuck off. He just moved out of your fucking mansion. Yeah. Stop being such a prude-ass bitch.
And then he mentions, like, you dropped him off an hour late and you're here an hour early. That's 2 hours. I only get 1 day. And I'm like, yeah. Give him his full time.
And she's like, I don't have time for this. I'm like, he has time for this. Mm-hmm. You should be better about it.
You can do errands around this.
That's what I'm saying. Or do all your errands and then pick them up. Like, what is wrong with you? He should get 2 more hours, you freak. And then I love how, I keep calling her Matilda, but I think her name is Natalie in the movie. She's like, we're his goddamn kids, too.
Well, she's like,
we're
his goddamn kids, too.
We're his goddamn kids, too. I'm like, she's so cute. She's adorable.
And that's when he sees that she's going to place the ad. And he's like, why can't I do it? Fair point.
Totally.
And she's like, no, I'd rather pay a stranger. Which I'm like, girl, that's mean.
You're a freak, dude. Like, she's just so angry at him, which is fine. But it's like, do what's best for your kids.
Right, exactly.
You know he's a good dad. Come on. But I will say, he learned so much about...
That's very true.
Like, he became such a better person because of this insane thing.
It might have been... You're right. He might have just made it, like, party central if she let him go do it the first time. You know?
Yeah. But he had to be in this character who was, like you said, like a very uptight Scottish woman.
Nonsense.
Yeah. So he had to make them, on a schedule and be, like, proper, which in turn was good for him. And he had to learn so many new skills that he didn't fucking know how to do before.
And we do get our first instance of transphobia when he's setting himself up for success by making a lot of terrible calls to Miranda, pretending to apply for the ad, because he changes the phone number, so he's the only one calling. And so he plays all these different characters. And then one of the characters says, like, I don't do well with the boys because I used to be one. And she's like, and like hangs up on him like, oh my god.
Yeah,
gross.
That was fucked.
Gross.
That was fucked up. Yeah, there's a couple, I think 2 major instances that are very transphobic, which I'm like, fucking, come on, please. But again, it was 1993, so.
Yeah, and then the very next scene is the scene you mentioned where his brother is being very understanding and cool, being like, oh, you want to become a woman? Sure, I don't care.
Let's do
this.
Yep, and again, the first of, I want to say 2, like, montages, but this one is a makeover montage, which we love. Maybe my favorite montage ever. Like, it's makeup montage movie ever.
And I love that Robin Williams breaks the fourth wall and does, like, songs directly to camera. It's so fun.
It's the way to sit and putter. Life's candy and the sun's a bowl of butter. It's so good. Oh, my God, I love it. It's hilarious. I love that he also says, I'm ready for my close-up Mr. DeMille, because it's not Mr. DeVille.
Yeah, why does everyone think DeVille?
I don't know.
It's odd.
It is weird. And I'm not that guy. I will never correct anyone who says that. But I always think it in my mind. I'm like, it's DeMille. It's DeMille.
Sunset Boulevard.
Yeah, you guys. Fucking duh.
We are, as Shea would say, picture
review podcast. Yikes.
I like to call it a flick.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like that annoys the bros the much. Like, oh, that's a cool flick.
With the flick of the wrist. You know what I'm saying?
Did you catch that flick?
Did you catch that flick? Oh, my God. I don't think I've ever said that, but that's kind of baller, actually, TBH. I wrote, I want a Mrs. Doubtfire in my life. She's so
cool,
lovely and funny and strong, and she would like whip me into shape. You know what I mean?
She's incredible, and that's kind of like, not to speed ahead, but that is like the lesson that everyone takes after the big reveal is like, This Doubtfire was fucking cool, and we want more of her.
Totally.
And the showrunner's like, yeah.
Yeah, like...
We need more.
Yeah, and she's just so... Not only is she likable, but she's like... She's lovable. Mm-hmm. Like, you just love her, and she's not just, like, silly and goofy. She's not just being, like, a strict, like, nanny-ass bitch. She's so many things. She's everything that you could possibly want out of someone in your life. Mm-hmm. She's, like, very thoughtful, super sweet, tells it to you straight, but isn't, like, annoying about it. Like, she's just fucking cool and, like, so lovely. Such a cool, like, new age Mary Poppins.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah, I never thought about it that way, but it's very true.
Yep. And she has a very similar bag, too, might I say.
You're right.
I also wrote, oh my god, Matilda's lisp kills me. She is so fucking
Adorable.
cute. It makes me die. And also, Sally Fields is so unbelievably gorgeous. I kept catching myself being like...
Her hair. I was like, how are you doing this? It's defying gravity. It's like a perfect feathered triangle, and I'm obsessed.
I know, I'm like, holy shit. This era of hair, this Hera, if you will.
The Hera.
So good. So fucking good. Also, the bus driver being in love with Mrs. Doubtfire kills me.
And he's like, I mean, he's like being inappropriate because she's stuck on his bus.
Totally.
But he is, in his mind, I think, trying to be very complimentary and respectful.
Yes. He's just like, when she's just like, God made me very different, dear. I'm definitely special. He goes, you sure are. I'm like,
stop.
Or, I like natural women.
Yeah. He's
Healthy.
so into her. Yeah.
Natural. Just the way God made you. Like, he's just so, he literally is in love with her.
Yes. He's like,
so cute. Oh, I miss taking the bus. Sometimes. Yeah, this is where I wrote, if I find the misogynistic bastard that invented heels, I'll kill him. Dude, he's learning so much about womanhood.
Yeah.
By
how much fucking work it is and how uncomfortable it is.
Yeah, and then on drag, it's an extra level because you have to put on fucking, I mean, the makeup, the prosthetics, the fucking
his
pattern.
brother did go so hard. Like made of plaster, latex, mold. What?
I know.
Incredible.
Yeah,
and I love the scene where he's taking it all off, and it's like, yeah, it's a lot of shit.
It's a lot of shit. But, like, truly, like, womanhood, whether drag, being trans, being cis, whatever, it doesn't matter. Like, he's learning so much about womanhood, and he's like, he has a healthy respect for how much work people have to put in on a daily fucking basis that he never did, which is rad. It's like a really cool takeaway. You know, I really enjoy it.
In the shoes, literally.
Literally. Oh my god. But I did write, his ability to bullshit is scary.
True. Yeah, it's like, whoa. Yeah, when he's like, I'm his sister.
Yeah.
Half sister.
Yeah, and then just like, oh yeah, this is how our parents met, or even
this is him explaining to the social worker, and it's like, wow, he was not expecting her to come.
Yeah, or even when like Sally Fields is like, how long ago did Mr. Doubtfire pass away? He's like 8 years, like just 8 years.
Yeah,
as simple as that.
Alarming.
What the fuck?
It is a little alarming.
It is scary. And then, of course, I wrote, hello!
Just we would, anytime we had access to, like, a cake or whipped cream, that's what we were doing. And then,
hello! And I never caught this line.
Like a snow cone in Phoenix.
Oh, I'm melting like a snow cone in Phoenix. Or the, ooh, I'm a little cappuccino. Never caught that until this time. I'm like, God, yes, you're so brilliant.
But I was grossed out on this viewing. I'm like, this bitch.
And she still drank it.
Is gonna drink it?
I know.
And then she's going to taste it? It was on someone's face.
Yeah. And it melted off.
Gross.
It melted off. It's so gross. I also wrote, but how obvious is the switch up, though? Like,
what do you mean?
For the social worker?
Yeah, who should be a little more perceptive. You're inspecting this man's home.
They're literally never in the same room, obviously. And also, every time, like, his voice doesn't, like, he can't throw his voice, so it's like, yes, dear, and he's like, hey, sis. It's like, you could tell if, that would be so scary. So Mr. Jekyll, Dr. Hyde shit, or the opposite of that,
or even when he's like sneaking by and his face isn't covered, I'm like, if she turns around,
oh my god,
how on earth are you going to explain this?
That is some true
living on the edge. And that was one of the moments where I was like, this is a drama. I'm noiving.
No, you're really like, I'm on the edge.
And I know how this ends, and I'm still stressed.
Yeah, when that's the perfect scene to describe. Him lurking down the hallway, making sure she doesn't see him. Dude, so scary. If she caught him. No.
Yeah, she's not very good at her job.
No, like 0% actually. I never had a crazy babysitter or like anyone that like stuck out to me, but I know you did. So I was like, maybe she should talk about her German babysitter.
Oh, yeah. So she was more than a babysitter. She was like our daycare lady. So we would go and like be at her house like all day for stretches at a time, like during spring break or summer or whatever, or before we even went to kindergarten. Oh, wow. Her name was Beata. She has since passed. Rest in peace, Beata.
Rest in peace, Beata.
But she was, she grew up, I think, in East Berlin, I want to say.
Whoa.
And she had like a German accent, and she would smoke a lot, but she always went outside.
That's so cute.
That's to us to spare us from smoke. And she had like a cool playroom, and I always had a lot of fun at her house. But we always knew that we were in trouble when she would say, "Oh, good dabei."
Oh,
which
shit.
I've taken to understand as German for like, for God's sakes.
She's like, Jesus
And when she said that, we're like, she's speaking German.
Gotta go.
And she had other German phrases, but that's one I remember the most because it was like to a trauma
Like
response.
scary. Yeah. Would she would she like punish you guys, or was it just like, oh no, she's mad?
And she would just yell at us and be like, ah!
Like,
Yeah.
oh no.
Like if that was enough, we're like, no.
Totally.
She never would spank us. Like that was not her
That's
bag.
good. Because I hear some like babysitters do, or other people's parents, and I'm like,
I
excuse
think
me?
she did time out. She was pretty chill with us. We also like weren't crazy.
Yeah, no, I'm sure you guys were, especially playing amongst each other.
Right.
Like, I'm sure you kept out of trouble.
But one memory I have is that I've never been good at napping my entire life. Never been good at napping. But she would have nap time for all the other kids, and the other kids would pass out. But I would just stay awake, and that's when she would watch soap operas. So I remember always like staying awake and watching soap operas and never having any idea what was happening. Because, you know, it was always like dropped in, and I was like, what the hell is that? So I have so many memories of being in a darkened room watching soap operas.
Were they like German soap operas?
No, they were American. I think they were like all the big ones.
Ooh, that's fun. I was just talking about soap operas the other day, actually. That's funny.
Oh.
That's so cute.
Yeah, and it's like just a modest little house and nothing crazy. But she did convert her garage into a playroom. And she had like little like ride around toys and like sit and spins and like fun stuff like that.
That is so fun.
Hell yeah.
And how long were you like hanging out with her for?
Probably since I was honestly like 2 or 3 to like, you know what, probably only about 7, because then at that point my sisters were old enough to take care of me.
Right.
And they were home whenever I was home. So yeah, only like 2
But still, that's a good amount of time to spend with somebody. Mm-hmm. Rest in peace.
And she had this amazing book series that was like, they weren't encyclopedias, but they were books about famous people.
Ooh.
And she had like 30 of them.
Oh,
so I'd like read about Amelia Earhart, and then I'd read about like Thomas Edison and stuff. I feel like I learned a lot there.
Maybe that started your love for reading.
I think it did, because the books were sick.
That is so cool. Yeah, I was thinking about that. I was like, I've never, like, the person that babysat me and my bros the most, but specifically me and my big brother, were my grandparents. They, like, watched us from the time we were born, I guess, because both parents were still working.
How many years apart is Baron and you?
2.
Yeah, so yeah. See, Steph was 7 years older than me.
Yeah.
So she was able to watch us pretty early on.
That makes sense.
So I didn't have a lot of babysitters besides my sisters.
Yeah. I can see why. As soon as you turn 7, she's 14, obviously she'll watch you guys.
Right. But yeah, you guys probably had a lot of babysitters.
Yeah, you know what though? When we moved here, we didn't really have, because my parents didn't really know anybody. The only person that like would watch us, but we would just go over to their house, was Teresa and Graham. But even then, it was rare that we'd go there because they would be out with each other. They were best friends. So yeah, we didn't have a lot of babysitters, but my grandparents watched us a lot when we lived back home. But from like birth until I was like 6, they watched me. But yeah. And
how were they? Did they spank? Did they yell? What'd they do?
Hell nah. They were so... rest in peace, Ann and Sid. Miss you guys so much. They were literal angels on earth. And I know for a fact, like, they spoiled us rotten. And their house was so cool because it was so old. They had a giant backyard. They had a basement. They had an attic. Annabelle was like... She didn't wear like anything like Chanel-y, but like she would always wear like suits every day.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. And she would, she had like this beautiful like mirror brush and like mirror set like on her vanity, and I was always so obsessed with it.
Yeah.
And she gave it to me when she passed in her will, so I still I have it. Their house is just magical. It had like secret entryways, and like from their backyard there was this like way you could like hop the fence, and then there were just like big boulders down this like hill that led to a secret park.
Oh my gosh.
You went to that park with me.
Oh my gosh, I did.
But we went the opposite. We didn't go from their backyard, but it led to that park.
Oh my god.
And
wow, I can't believe I got to go there.
I know. And it was just
snow-covered.
It was so sick. And their house was just literally magical. And then every day, Sadie would be like, let's go to McDonald's. Let's go to Wendy's. Or we'd go to the corner store. And I would watch him tip everybody. He tipped all the fast food people. He tipped random people at the gas station. He tipped people who would like pick up a piece of trash in front of him. He'd be like, here's $5. Like, which
is interesting because you don't think of Canadians having a tipping culture like
they
Americans do. So it's like he really was like doing something.
And I found out why only a week ago.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
So here we go.
Wow. Breaking news, everybody.
Okay. So my family just adopted a new dog. He's beautiful. We wanted to rename him because his name was Bane, which like doesn't fit his personality at all.
He's no Bane.
He's like a giant fucking baby. So my mom was like, we should name him something similar because we adopted him, right? Like we rescued him, but let's not make it Bane. So she said, what about Babe? And I was like, let's call him Babe Ruth. Mm-hmm. And then my dad was like, perfect, because Babe Ruth has a connection to the family. And I was like, how does Babe Ruth
just now coming in?
So when Siddy, my grandfather, was a teenager to 18 years old, he was a telegraph boy. So he would deliver telegraphs, early messages, if you will, to random, businesses and whatever. Mm-hmm. So he went to the Halifax Hotel and found a wallet on his way in. It was Babe fucking Ruth's. Wow. Because Babe Ruth came to Halifax all the time because the guy that taught him baseball and his favorite teacher of all time, I researched this, was from Cape Breton.
Oh, wow.
Is that not insane?
That is wild.
So Siddy found his wallet, met him, because they like called Mr. Ruth downstairs.
Oh my gosh.
Met him, and Babe Ruth didn't tip him $1. Siddy saw hundreds of dollars in his wallet.
Right, like, you're fucking welcome. I could have robbed you blind.
This is in 1942. Homie didn't tip Siddy at all. Siddy was fucking pissed. And ever since then, he was a tipper. He tipped everyone because he was like, I will never be like that. I will never
be like Babe fucking Ruth.
I always wondered, why is Siddy, because first of all, not a tipping culture. Right. Canadians are known for being shitty tippers when they come here. I
didn't want to say it, but that was my understanding.
Horrible tippers. None of my family's like that because of Siddy. Siddy taught all of us to treat everyone around you so well and to show your appreciation for people who did work around you, who helped you with anything. He was like, show them appreciation. And I took that to heart at such a young age. I appreciate Siddy so much for that. Anyway, needed to talk about that. That's crazy. I just found that out days ago.
Wow.
It was a family mystery up until a couple days ago, and I'm like, damn. But
it's funny how our parents hold back this very like relevant information that you're like, how have I never heard this before?
Yeah, like, dude, one of my favorite movies of all time is The Sandlot. You never thought of bringing up Babe Ruth?
You never thought of telling me this. That's so funny.
Come on. But yeah. Anyways.
I'm sure this is a note you're going to have.
I think I know what you're going to say. Wait, tell me.
I dream of this dinner.
Yes! What did I write here?
Wait, okay, the food scene is one of my
That's my next note. That's so funny.
Oh my god.
The sauce. Just the sauce. The carrots.
The little baby carrots.
We need to make a replica of this dinner.
Yes.
We should do it and take a picture of it.
Man.
We should find out what it was, because I bet we could find out.
Oh, I'm sure people have replicated it.
I would love to do I've always wanted to make this dinner.
Yeah.
It would be so fun. Hazen would shit his pants, because this is like his favorite food scene of all time.
We could light the candelabras on my table.
I'm dead. Yeah. I'm dead. Play the music. I'll be standing there with burnt titties and then a sweater over it. Dinner is served.
Oh. So fucking good.
Her scream though made me laugh so fucking. I'm like, dude, this it's hollandaise. She says.
Oh, you're right. Oh God, yeah, it looks
beautiful,
incredible.
Also, the Lydia apologizing scene made me bawl my eyes out for some reason. I don't know why.
The Lydia.
after the dinner, she like, Mrs. Doubtfire leaves and then Lydia runs outside.
Yeah.
It made me bawl.
Oh, really?
Yes.
It made me bawl, but it was very sweet and like so mature and like what a good kid.
Yeah, and she's like, I'm still like messed. Like she apologized, she took accountability, and then she was like, here's the reason why. And also thank you for making my mommy so happy. And I think it's just like, it's such a good lesson to learn when you're a kid that like divorce doesn't have to be bad. Like, and actually I think it is like, I mean, even she says it in the movie, but she's like, because marriage can be such a blessing. And she's like, so can divorce. And it's like, it's true. When people tell me that they got divorced, I've learned to say congrats. When they're like, yeah, I decided to divorce my husband. I'm like, good for you. That must be really fucking hard. Hopefully you're happy now.
Yeah, it's not like an easy decision, you know?
No.
It's not like someone's just like, nah, divorce.
Right. It's not like, I don't know, switching a job. And even then that's hard. But like, you know, it's nothing like that. I don't know.
Likely.
No. It's fucking such a cool scene. Made me cry really hard. Dude looks like a lady.
Yeah.
I love that fucking song, lady.
Yeah, it's a great montage too, showing him learning all of these skills and settling into his life as a domestic care worker.
Literally, the scene I think about all the time is him dancing in the full getup with the vacuum and with the broom.
So
I'm like,
good.
bad bitch.
So good.
Such a bad bitch. So fun.
But then at the end of this montage, we do get the second big incident of transphobia.
Ooh, yeah.
Homophobia.
Wow.
Because Mrs. Doubtfire is using the bathroom standing up, and the son sees and has a full-blown meltdown.
Yeah, like and I understand he's like, what, probably 12?
Yeah, and this is a different time.
Totally different time. So I wouldn't say it's like totally chill. Like it's fucked up. We should be teaching kids like that's not okay to treat people like that.
Yeah, and I think what was most chilling is they react with violence.
I know, and they're like, stand back. I'm gonna,
yeah, like, and it just shows you that when people are different in any way, it is like threatening to a lot of people for some reason.
Yeah,
it's like it's not.
They feel like they're being deceived. That's what it is. They're like, oh, like, the hat's coming off and now I see you for who you truly are. And it's like,
see,
no.
I thought it more as like they were freaked out by the fact that there was cross-dressing. Because he's like, he's a she, she's a he.
He's a she, she's a she. But then they refer her to her. They're like, she, da-da-da. So, I don't know. I think underneath, I mean, I think it is like, obviously, just being, it's transphobia. Or homophobia. A combination of, I don't know, but like it's just, I really do think it's like deceit because they're like, I thought of a woman as this and you're not painting the picture that I thought in my mind, so now we need to protect ourselves. Right.
Yeah, like you are a threat and we will react with violence. And it's like, whoa.
It's like, please fucking stop. It's sad.
So that was not a fun moment.
No, that was hard. That was hard to watch. Very hard to watch. Luckily, I feel like so many people are being educated right now. Hopefully that happens less. You know, it's just sad.
Yeah, I was shocked, like, watching it again. And this has to happen for the movie. But the fact that she says yes to dinner with Miranda...
I know.
I'm like, say you're sick. Say anything.
Literally say... Or just stand on your own... Just be like, no, it's bingo night.
Right, exactly. I was like, why are you saying yes to this? This is crazy. Why would you ever think this could work?
I know. I was thinking that too, because I was like, okay, maybe... Because I forgot that he does go back to the secretary of the guy, being like, let's try to find anything.
Right. But once that doesn't work, like, get out of it.
Exactly. That's what I was I was like, okay, well, once you know that that's the only time he has available for 2 months.
Exactly.
Then be like, hey, the girls are really looking forward to me being at bingo night.
Right. Or like, I'm sick.
Yeah, you've had no problem lying this entire fucking time. You're not going to lie about this.
And I guess, like, people might say, like, oh, well, it's because she wanted to keep an eye on the dude during dinner. But it's like, if you run into her as Robin Williams, it's going to have the same effect.
Exactly. Since you know that they're going to be there, you could totally pop
like, oh, hi, I'm right here. And then that, obviously...
We just divorced, bitch.
She's not going to knock on this guy if she knows you're in the same restaurant.
Totally.
Probably.
Totally. No, I was thinking the same. I'm like, oh no, this is how it all unravels.
And of course it all unravels, which it has to do, which is why. But I was just like, IRL, why would you ever do that?
Completely. Just come on. But also, truly sinister for him to put fucking cayenne pepper right after he said he was allergic to pepper. That is actually some really crazy shit.
Yeah, that is the worst. The worst. You can't try to poison people, all right?
No, you just tried to, like, kill him, basically.
Right. And, like, for what?
Right.
For being into your wife. Relax.
For, like, not even fucking your wife yet.
Exactly.
That's what it, like, and your ex-wife at that. Like,
yes!
Sorry, dude. Like,
you are unhinged.
Y'all are divorced. Yeah, please. Like, what is wrong with you?
But I felt like the scene was the most stressful I've ever experienced it. I
Me
don't
too.
know if it's just because I'm older, but I was like, this is so bad.
Me too.
Oh, no.
I was like, I have so much anxiety right now.
Bopping between the two tables.
And then also having to keep up the lie, and then the boss guy being like, are you wearing lipstick? Having to lie about that.
The lies.
Then coming back as Mrs. Doubtfire, not realizing he's still in the get-up.
Because he's been drinking heavily.
Heavily, which is understandable.
Which is another layer where you're just like, ah.
You're like, oh no. And it also brought me back to one of me and Stacy's favorite shows, Broad City.
Yes, that's when I was like, this show is brilliant.
It is so brilliant. And they even had Mara Wilson, a.k.a. Matilda, a.k.a. Natalie, playing their waiter, dude.
So
like
perfect. And then the whole time.
Oh my god, Ilana saying those lines?
Mm-hmm. And Sally Fields fucking eating.
Also, one of the saddest scenes in that show, too.
Yeah.
Where she's like, Trey's a joke. And he's like, I'm not a joke, Abby. I'm like, no! Yeah. So good. Anyways, back to Mrs. Doubtfire. Mm-hmm. That was the last note I wrote, but, like, what a good fucking ending.
Yeah, it's an amazing ending. And I actually love Pierce Brosnan's reaction.
Me too.
He's just like, this is weird. I'm just going to be calm.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to go home. And he, like, gives, like, Robin Williams, like, a fist bump for Heimlich maneuvering him. He's like,
you saved my life, but you also tried to kill me, so...
But he doesn't know that.
Oh, that's true. But he said sorry for the pepper. Oh. But maybe he meant...
Yeah.
Or maybe he took it as, like...
Yeah.
Sorry for your experience with the pepper.
I don't... Yeah, but he's just like, okay, bye. Like, actually pretty nice to him. Just like,
very nice to him.
So, yeah.
And the only thing he said was the guy's a loser, but the thing is, like, that's what Sally Fields could have been telling him the whole time.
Right.
It's a drive-by fruiting. We forgot to mention that part. That part's really funny.
Oh, and then my last note that I thought was fucking amazing is, so after Robin Williams secures the show, he's still told by the judge, like, you were too weird.
Yeah.
I'm ordering you to psychological testing.
Makes
sense. I think
sense.
could be seen as homophobic or transphobic, but also could be, like, to your point, like, you kept up a crazy deception.
That's what it's like, the lie.
You didn't need to do that.
No.
You could have just followed the rules for 3 months and just waited a little bit.
1 million. Yeah.
Like,
maybe he really thought, like, I will not be able to get a secure job.
I don't know, but it's like, you went a little too hard there.
No, he did.
Anyways.
For sure.
So after that, Miranda's like starting to have some regrets about not asking for joint custody. And so she visits him on the set. And then he has this really like powerful scene where he's talking about how hard it is to have these supervised visits and how there's a court worker watching him like he's a deviant and how like they're suspicious when he hugs them.
Yeah.
And I just saw such like a raw expression of grief for like what I'm sure a lot of queer people have gone through with the court system where just like, you're different, you're deviant, we don't trust you.
So
and
true.
We think you're a pervert.
Right. Why would you be hugging your kids?
Right,
because they're my fucking kids?
And I was just like, wow, this is really powerful and deep. And he's like, his eyes are welling up and he's amazing in it.
He kills every role he's in. He's so magnificent. And I don't use that word ever. But like, truly magnificent. Like, he kills every role he's in. He's so amazing and he's so believable.
And then after that, he has another amazing speech on the show where he's answering like a letter from like a young viewer about her parents getting divorced and being really sad and thinking it's her fault. And then he has this great speech about how families are really different and they aren't the same always and that your parents still love you and that divorce might be better.
Yeah.
They could be better mummies and daddies.
Better mummies and daddies too. Which is
so cute.
Ultimately what happens to not only Robin's character, but Sally Fields. They're both better because of their divorce, because of the situation that they were in. Yes, he deceived her. Yeah, he was like weird about it. He shouldn't have like been lying that whole time for 3 months or whatever. But...
And I do remember this movie making waves because it showed a divorce period, which was like not portrayed a lot, and because the parents didn't get back together. I was going to
say that,
which was rare, and because it was portraying divorce ultimately in like a positive light.
Absolutely,
better for everybody. Which,
at that time especially was not.
Yeah.
And it didn't, like, when divorce was talked about in TV shows or whatever, it didn't make their relationship as a family stronger. But in this movie, it does. Not only with, like, your ex-spouse, but with your children. Like, everyone is just in a better place. And it shows the kids also being, Jinx, but it also shows the kids being happier because their mom's happier. And then they're happier because their dad is, like, a stable figure in their lives. So
yeah, like he was kind of forced to grow up a little, which probably wouldn't have happened without the divorce, so yeah.
Yeah. Ultimately, such a great fucking movie.
I loved it.
It made me cry so hard twice, okay?
Wow. See, I didn't cry, but I loved it.
I always cry. I'm such a crier. I cry at, like, every movie. Especially all the movies that we fucking review. My goodness gracious.
Well, do you want to do some trivia?
I'm ready.
Okay, question 1.
Okay.
What happens to the cake Miranda got for the son's birthday party?
Oh, was it a donkey or a horse eats it? Like a miniature horse?
Getting a little pony eats it.
Oh, yeah, little pony.
And it looks so good.
It looks so good. A soccer cake?
Bitch. Yeah. When it has the individual little...
Yeah, the grass things?
Flower things. Oh, I love that.
I know. So bomb.
Number 2. What happens to Robert Williams' first latex mask?
It gets run over by a garbage truck, I want to say.
Yes, which I'm like, oh my god, that poor brother put hours into it. Now he has to make another one.
He's like, be gentle. She's old.
Number 3. What is Mara Wilson's little girl's favorite book?
Stuart Little.
Yes.
Which is such a cute book to be your favorite.
We didn't really talk about this scene, but there's a scene where all the kids go to the pool. Yeah. What does Mrs. Doubtfire do while the kids are playing at the pool?
She's at the bar drinking and hitting on ladies. Yes. And throwing limes at Pierce Brosnan's back of his head.
For getting drunk, but you fucking nailed it. It was a drive-by fruiting.
It was a drive-by fruiting. And also that scene, I didn't write this down, but I was thinking it and I wanted to bring it up, but the scene never came up. The way that they look at this pool is how we look at Casablanca.
Yeah, it's like, wow, yes!
They're just like, oh.
We're gonna have some fucking fun today.
Dude, this is gonna be the best day of our fucking lives, baby. Yeah.
Okay, question number 5. It's hard.
Okay.
But I believe in you.
Thank you.
Perform the raptor rap.
I'm a raptor, doing what I can, gonna eat everything till appearance of man. Yo, see me, I'm living below the soil. I'll be back, but I'm coming as oil.
Woo! I knew you could do it.
And also, might I also say, Becca still remembers this, and I don't know where this paper went, but after that rap, I made individual raps about so many different fucking dinosaurs back in middle school.
I remember that.
And I cannot find them anywhere, and I'm so pissed because they were so
I'm sure they were amazing.
Fucking good.
I'm sure they were great.
Anyway. Nailed it.
100%.
Damn, I think that's the first 100%.
You love this movie.
I love this movie. I've watched it so many times. I'm sure you would get a 100 on it too. Like, it's just...
I watched this movie so much.
I did too. You and I watched the same... I swear to God, Stacy and I went to the same Blockbuster and guaranteed we were renting all the same movies. Anytime I'd go and something wasn't there, now I know in my heart it was Stacy.
Hello.
Hello. Just popping from the side with frosting.
Hello. Like you, bitch.
God damn it. It's a drive-by fruiting. Ooh, personality quiz. Should I look it up?
Oh my gosh, yes.
I wonder if they have a Mrs. Doubtfire.
They should.
Which Mrs. Doubtfire character are you? Here we go.
Okay.
How messy are you? I have to admit that I'm a total slob. I keep things clean as a whistle. I'm extremely organized, perhaps to a fault, or I have others who clean up after me.
It's not a wide range of options.
No, it's not.
I'm not super clean, but I am. Things are organized. They have a spot. They're just not always in their spot.
Totally.
I'd say the organized one.
Okay, got you. Scroll the next question. How good are you at doing voices? I'm pretty terrible. All my characters sound the same. I don't think I've ever tried to do voices. I have a couple of impressions that are pretty good, or I'm very talented at doing voices. I could do it professionally.
I'd say I do a couple of them. I do.
You do. You do have a really good couple of them for sure. How stable has your... Wait, no, don't do this. Okay. How stable has your work history been? I'm laughing at myself, sorry. I've worked a number of jobs, but I always leave on good terms. I have had a very stable career. I have been fired or quit more times than I can count, or I've done a few things, but I've stayed with the same career for many years now.
Yeah, the last one.
Yep. Perfect. How energetic are you? Watch out, I'm a ball of energy. I'm generally pretty mellow, but I can get a bit worked up. I'm pretty stable and chill, or I have a lot of energy, but I can be calm and centered when necessary.
The second to last one. I'm pretty chill.
Stable and chill.
Stable and chill.
How comfortable would you be dressing in drag? I don't think so. That's pretty weird.
For us.
What? That's pretty weird. Shut up.
Yeah.
I'd be very comfortable with it, or I already do. I wouldn't be comfortable with that in the slightest, or I wouldn't say comfortable, but I'd do it if I had to for some reason.
Oh, we already do. Shay and I famously cross-dress basically every holiday.
So much.
I don't give a fuck.
Okay, very comfortable with it, or I already do. Exactly. Have you ever thrown a party that got out of control? It's happened a time or two. The cops know my address very well. I've been at parties like this, but I don't throw them, or, oh no, I never have.
It's happened a time or two.
Yep. Hey, it happens to everybody that's cool, okay? Are you more serious or goofy? I'm a total goofball. I'm mostly serious, but I do know how to have fun. I tend to be very serious most of the time, or I know how to have some fun, but I usually keep it within reason.
I feel like the second and last one are very similar, but I'm going to go with the second one.
Hell yeah, she does know how to have fun, y'all. Mm-hmm. How good of a cook are you? I have someone who cooks for me. Oh.
Wow.
I don't cook very... Yeah, okay. I don't cook very often, but I'm decent when I do. I'm learning to be an excellent cook, or I have a couple dishes that I can make pretty well.
I'd like to think I'm learning.
She's a great cook.
I'm learning. I'm always learning.
So I'm learning to be an excellent cook. She is an excellent cook, you guys. Do you have an accent? Yes, I have a very thick accent. I don't think I have much of one. I just have a normal accent for my area, or some people say that I have a bit of an accent.
I have a normal accent for my area, meaning vocal fry Cali girl.
For sure. How strict are you? I'm pretty free and easy. Oh.
Awooga.
Awooga. I can be strict when the situation calls for it. I don't really have the need to be strict, or I'm very strict, but I do it all out of love.
I feel like this implies that I have someone to be strict over, and I don't.
Yeah, or maybe for yourself?
Yeah. Okay. Judging by my dog, I'm not strict at all.
You're free and easy, baby.
I'm free and
Just
easy.
the way I like him.
She does whatever she wants.
Okay, how many questions are there? Hold on.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, we'll probably have to do the half and half thing. Okay. Do you like tea? I keep tea around the house, but I rarely drink it. Oh yes, I drink tea all the time. I like to have tea once in a while, or yuck, I don't like tea at all.
I keep it around the house and I have it a lot.
Oh yes, I drink tea all the time. Mm-hmm. How would you describe your figure? Tall, average, thin, or plump? Oh, I like that word.
Oh, yeah, I like plump.
Plump.
I'm slim thick, so... You know.
Yeah, she is, baby! Give it to me, give it to me, give it to me, baby. Okay. Would you be good at hosting a children's show? I think that would be pretty fun to watch on TV for kids. I was born to be a children's show host. I'm pretty sure kids would get bored with me, or not at all. I'm far too dignified for such work.
What the hell?
What the freak?
Wow. I was just gonna do a simple no. I know. But
I'm far too dignified.
What was the second to last one?
I'm pretty sure kids would get bored with me.
Yeah, they'd probably get bored because I'd make capitalism, and they'd be like, not this again.
Like, oh,
change the channel.
Do you want to do the switcheroni?
We're going to switch over to Shay, because this is silly. I have to put on my little reading glasses because the phone isn't ginormous. How do I look?
Oh, you look sexual, my dear.
Do you enjoy cleaning house? I have someone who does that for me. I don't enjoy doing it, but I love the results. I love to clean house. It makes me feel great. Or I wouldn't say I enjoy it, but I'm doing it more than I used to.
I would say, the last one probably. Like, I don't necessarily enjoy it, but I do it. You know what I mean? Mm. I enjoy a clean house more than...
Well, that's an answer. I don't enjoy it, but I love the result.
Perfect.
Okay. Do you resonate more with British or American sensibilities? I'm a fan of American culture, but British sensibilities match me better. I'm definitely a total Yankee. I like British stuff, but I'm probably much more American in my style. Or I totally relate with British culture.
I don't know, because Nova Scotian is really similar to...
Like British.
Yeah, so maybe that, I guess. Like, I'm acclimated to American, but I feel like
I like British stuff, but I'm probably much more American in my style. That one?
Sure.
Okay. What kind of work best fits your personality? Actor, designer, business owner, nanny?
Actor.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I love kids, so. But I would say actor for sure.
Okay. Would you consider yourself to be a responsible person? I'm extremely responsible, almost to a fault. I'm a very responsible person, but I have a mischievous streak. I take care of what needs to be done, and then I have fun. Or I've been very irresponsible in my past, but I'm growing.
That one, for sure.
Love it. Have you ever put labels on areas of your house? No, I think that looks tacky. That sounds a bit overboard to me. I do it all the time. I'm very organized. Or I don't need labels. I know just where everything goes.
I don't need labels. I know where everything goes.
There you go.
But I have to have a place for everything.
I have labeled a lot of things in my life. That's funny. Okay, are you interested in architecture? I find architecture to be boring. I don't know much about it, but I like nice buildings. Yes, I work in some aspect of architecture or design. Or yes, I admire great architecture.
I don't know much about it, but I like great buildings.
Nice. Do you enjoy interior design? I can appreciate good interior design. Yes, I work in some aspect of interior design. I do like a nicely presented home, but I don't know much about it. Or it's not something I really think about or admire.
What was the first one again?
I can appreciate good interior design.
I like that one. I love Architectural Digest, y'all.
Oh, yes, they're open door shit.
Yeah, they're so good.
Fire.
I love.
How often do people tell you to lighten up? I'm a... I think we got our answer there, ladies and germs. But the options are... I'm a pretty balanced person, so I don't often hear that. I hear that more often than I would like. People more often tell me to get serious, or I can get a bit too serious at times.
That's actually hard. I laughed just because, like, I am very rarely super serious. But, I don't know. I feel like I have a balance. Like, I'm super fucking goofy, but, like, I talk some real, you know?
Some real shit.
Yeah, some real shit.
Okay, how would you describe your parenting style?
Interesting. I'll go with my auntie skills.
Okay.
Let's see.
Laid back, responsible. I'm not a parent. Strict but fair.
Okay.
Well,
then I'm not a parent,
ladies.
baby.
All right. Have you ever been involved in the epidemic called a run-by fruiting? What is a run-by fruiting? I'm afraid I've been the culprit. Unfortunately, I've been the recipient. No, but the thought of it makes me laugh.
No, but the thought of it makes me laugh. I don't believe I've ever thrown a piece of fruit.
Well, the apple. Okay, it just refract.
No way.
There are too many questions.
Okay, well,
Do you think there's a shorter one?
maybe. If I had to,
yeah, let's just guess based on our answers.
I think I would be Daniel for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could see that.
Like, not Mrs. Doubtfire, but I think I'd be Danny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Who would I be?
I could see you as Mrs. Doubtfire.
I could be Mrs. Doubtfire.
But she's a little too strict. You wouldn't be as strict as her at all.
No. I feel like I'd be like a Pierce Brosnan.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, you would be. You're hot.
Or the old dude who's
charming.
in charge of the TV station.
Honestly, yeah. Like, being like,
One of them.
Does she have a girlfriend? Hey, it's the 90s. Yeah, I would say you're either one of those. True.
Sorry our quiz didn't work out. That was just
Yeah, my God.
so many
We're not going to
questions.
tell you which one this is
And
because
then
it sucks.
refreshed. Yeah, don't do it. Actually,
No.
I'll tell you which one to not do. Don't do the how stuff... Why is it even on howstuffworks.com? What the hell?
I don't even know, dude. But yeah, don't do that one. And if you find a better one, let us know because I would love to take one to find out who I am. But I'm pretty sure I'd be Danny.
You know, we're
like, no matter what.
ungovernable, so...
But we love you guys. And next week is our last installment.
Robin Williams. I'm going to be sad to leave the Williams verse. It's so cozy.
It is. It feels so cozy. And I love all of these movies. Like, I've seen them all. They're all familiar. I've watched them all a million times.
Yeah.
So, but don't you fear, because next week will be a great week. And then we have so much more content for you, obviously, weekly.
Yeah.
So don't you worry about it, darlings.
We love you.
We love you so much. We hope you have a great rest of your week and weekend. And we can't wait to hear more from you next week.
Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye now. Love you. Bye.
Love you. Thank you for listening. Shout out to I Have No Mouth for our delightful theme song and Whitney Vertucci for our beautiful podcast art.
And all of this couldn't be possible without our amazing producer, Anthony, aka DJ Munchausen.
If you have questions for us or would like to advertise with us, please email us at blockbusterwives@gmail.com and please join our Patreon for exclusive bonus content.
As always, please rate, subscribe, and tell all your friends about us.
We love you.
Hey, I really appreciate you bringing over all the lamps, Howard.
Well, lighting has always been a hobby of mine, but what I really want to do is direct.
Yeah, great. And action!
Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder. Daddy, I can't see. The lights are in my eyes.
Okay. I'm sorry, Angel. Is this better?
Yes, perfect. I'm ready for my close-up, Mr. DeVille.